there, my name is Chris and welcome back to my channel where today we're going to be discussing the new season of 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. We're going to talk about all the couples. I've done a little research to try and get us all up to speed about what's been happening, and then some also tidbits about some past favorites who are not on the season, but you know, we wish they were. Whatever you think about whatever couples that are on, I'm like, at least Lauren isn't there. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't like Lauren. So already a check for me, yes. But first and foremost, Pedro and Chantel, and Family Day Chantel is back, honey. It's really funny how the couples and then their like family becomes like the third character of the relationship, right? And almost always a disapproving family. So in the preview, we found out two pieces of information. A, some dude tells Chantel that his family arranged to get him to the USA. Like, that could be as harmless as like they got him a student visa, which like that makes sense, or like hearkening back to what Chantel's mom thought, which was that somehow Pedro's mom is in some sort of ring where she gets people to marry people and bring them to the USA. Okay? Okay. So Chantel looks shocked, as always. And by Chantel looks shocked to find this out, Chantel's face is literally almost always this. It's like she takes face Xanax, is how I would describe it. She's like the most unemotional, unexpressive person. But you know, God bless. Her eyelashes are back, so. The second part of the drama of the little teaser we saw was that like Pedro's sister shows Chantel like some video on her phone, and the video is of Pedro basically swing dancing with some lady. I don't know, just like picking up some woman in a happy way. And that results, I guess, in some sort of fight where Chantel's like, how could you embarrass me? And then, of course, we have Family Day Chantel's mom going, I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. Okay, look, Family Day Chantel. First of all, you're not in the mob business, and this is how I know, because you don't cook good food. It's like rule number one, if you're gonna be like a woman in the mob industry, like you have to be able to cook. And from what we saw of the dinner that you put out, you can't cook at all. But I will say she looks better this season. So, you know, they've learned, which is like, they must have gotten like some makeup artists, honey. They had some hair people and some makeup people on that whole family. I can't imagine that they knew that this was going to be their lives. That this was going to be their lives once Chantel once was like, I'm going to be on this docuseries. And then now it's like, fast forward, they're all stars. Chantel's brother is like a rapper now or something. Okay, next couple is Ashley and Jay. So this has been a very controversial couple because they have been lying and scheming up a goddamn hill to like get us to care about them. Like first was like, oh, we're not together and here's the divorce papers. And that was like given to media outlets, really shady media outlets. And we find out that like Ashley admitted that Jay just like came up with other Instagram accounts at first to fight against her friend Natalie, but then to share like undercover documents of like, oh, they're getting divorced. Just kidding. It's not, they're not getting divorced. She took back the paperwork, as well as like Ashley's mystery illness, which was like she was going to be on dialysis and almost died. Cut to this promo where she's just like throwing them back and drinking with her friends. Like, I don't know. Look, to each their own. And look, I don't know specifically about her diseases or what kind of mental things that she's dealing with, but I mean, it's really shady. And then she came out and was like, people weren't believing like my GoFundMe. And then the GoFundMe people like reached out to me and then I proved it. But then you know what? I didn't even cash the $3,000 check because I just wanted to go back. It's not worth the $3,000. And it's like, Ashley, like even Kris Jenner, we see through all of like the puppeteering and you're not even half that smart. You just want to be on the show. At one point, they also found Instagrams that like Ashley tried to like fake her death once, I guess, prior to even being on the show. Like there was Instagrams of her saying that she got hit by a car or something. I think that she is one of those people that like would lie and say she had cancer, you know? for sympathy and stuff. And all the lying is catching up to her because she looks even older this season than before. And meanwhile, where are those kids? Also, a little tidbit was that Natalie, and you know me, I love some like scooting Natalie around. Natalie had a profile on some sugar baby account, like she wants to find a sugar daddy. I wish I had the profile for you, but I found it in a Reddit thing. It's just like, yeah. So everyone involved in that situation is like lying and scheming and trying to get their way to the top. But Ashley and Jay are very much still together. Like if you go to like Jay's Instagram, like they're together right now. They've always been together. And you know what? Jay is hot. He's hot. I can admit that now he's grown up a little bit. Now he looks like he's like filled out a little bit. He's hot. And his tattoo career is going well. He like found people to do tattoos with, you know, so he's really the gem of that. Ashley's lucky. I would hold on for dear life. Okay, next couple is Colty and Larissa. And Debbie. Okay, so we already know they've broken up, so it's like, what are we gonna see? Like, are we gonna see the night that she like called the cops on him and like whether those wounds were self-inflicted? Like none of that's addressed in the promo. The promo is just like her yelling at Debbie. And Debbie like crying and being like, she ruined our relationship and your life. And like Colty being like, I will not let her stay in this country. I'm going to fight her green card or whatever. We already know that they had 2 divorce parties at the Crazy Horse 3 in Vegas, which randomly I was in Vegas at the time. And then I drunkenly decided to go to Larissa's divorce party and I barely saw her because unfortunately I was not in the right frame of mind. I was winning at a blackjack table, just like, and they were just feeding me drinks, you know how they do. And I was just like, let's go to Crazy Horse. And by the time I got there, I was already like 10 sheets to the wind. So I couldn't even like get my bearings. I remember looking back at my stories of the night, I had like one blurry story of the Crazy Horse, was just like some blurry strip club. I mean, it was a nice strip club. Like if you're gonna go to a strip club, I highly recommend the Crazy Horse 3. It's like not disgusting. Anyway, it also is revealed that they went to some sex counselor, I guess, during their marriage counseling of when they were still together. And Larissa has a quote where she's like, I am not a sexy doll. She doesn't say sexy doll. She says sex doll. But I mean, it really like goes to show like what kind of person is Colt. I think that he's fucked up. And I think Larissa's fucked up, but I think that Colty is like fucked up and it's underneath it all, which makes it even like more scary and more like sociopathic. Because Larissa's absolutely bananas, but like I think Colty is like a manipulating fool, you know what I'm saying? Living with his mom like that still. But good news for both of them. A, Larissa has a new boyfriend that she premiered on her Instagram. They're very happy. He looks interesting. He looks like she wears the pants. She tells him what to do. Larissa's boyfriend is named Ericy, and she met him on Tinder. And she says, he's really sweet and has a job. I admire him because he's independent. My former husband lived with his mother, so it's different. It certainly is. And Colty got a new car, a Mazda. And the Mazda dealership was only too happy to say that Colty and Debbie got a new car, which means do they sign for it themselves? Like they had to use each other's credit? I'm not quite sure. How do they do everything together? That's so crazy. Another thing that happened is that David from like previous 90 Day Fiancés, you know what I'm talking about, got in a fight with Debbie online, but it could have been Colty. So like David went on and was like pretty much saying what I did, which is like Larissa's bananas, but Colty, there's like some stuff there. And then like Debbie took to her Instagram and was like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. And then David was like, 50-50, that's Colty. And then made the wisest, smartest, I think, astute observation, which is that him and Colty have a lot in common. They both need stronger buttons. And they both need a bra. Look, say what you want, but David knows himself. And I don't think Colty does. So Russ and Paola are back. Ugh, so boring. It's like she's pregnant. And I guess it's going to be like, oh, I hope the baby comes out well, which it does. There's like a shot of Russ crying. Backstory is though that Paola also got into it with Ashley. Like she called out Ashley for being fake. Paola like likes to go after women on this show. They're really like past their prime on this show, honey. Like we have to retire them. Like let's get some new peeps, you know? I feel like what more is there to say? She's already like some sort of booty model. She got him to move to Miami. Like, are we gonna have more of her friend coming back to like yell at her for being with Russ still? And like, did Russ ever find a new engineer job? I mean, I don't even care. But like, what could they possibly talk about more with these people? Final couple, Nicole and Azan. So this is also like, what's this gonna be about? Supposedly it's like, I think the producers or some other people got to Nicole and was like, low-key, like, here's more evidence that he's cheating on you. And she has to deal with that. And we didn't see any May, which is like, look, if you're gonna show me Nicole, you better show me May. I kind of wanted like Nicole to be like on some sort of like weight loss kick because on her Instagram she does, and so like I wanted to see her like fighting and like getting better and getting healthier and then realizing she don't need no man, but that's not what it looks like. It looks like same old Nicole, which is like not wanting to talk in interviews, which is weird. It's like that's basically why you're on the show. You're on the show to talk to the producers and tell them about your life, but she's constantly like, I don't want to talk right now, and just runs away from the cameras. We don't see Azan ever, except for a phone call that happens. It doesn't look like they're going to go to Morocco, and he's not here. I mean, it's time to retire them too. Like, I would rather you bring back Danielle and Muhammad, you know, like, or have a sit down between Danielle and Nicole where Danielle tells Nicole, like, what, this is your future. Turn back. Like, let's make this interesting. Where's Muhammad? I want to see the same thing, like, and sit down with Muhammad and Azan, where like Muhammad's like, ooh, you know? Or can we have some, I mean, I know it's like low budge, but can we have some cameras on foot in Morocco to like give us what's happening in Azan's life? Like what's happening with his sister and his mom? Like show us the infidelity, like follow him around there. I don't understand. Is it too expensive? Yeah, of course it is. But like know that you need something for them. We can't just have her running off camera. Oh no, final couple, which I almost forgot about, is Elizabeth and Andrei. So like Elizabeth and Andrei is another like, she's having a baby. What's gonna happen with the baby? Also, her family hates Andrei. How are they gonna deal with him and the family? So boring. We didn't need him. Can't they just throw more money at Aunt Fiza and have her be on Love After Lockup? Because George is in jail, and they could talk about that. There's some great crossover options. You know, I'm just saying. Okay, so I did some other digging of a couple that I would have loved to have on this season that isn't. And that is Angela and Michael. Okay, so Angela's daughter, SCOTTY, that we remember, was arrested for child abuse and was sentenced for 3 different sentences for 20 years, and that's 60 years. Whether they're served concurrently or whatnot, it's confusing. It feels like she maybe took a plea deal because in some other paperwork, she's supposed to be released in like 2021, which is not nary 20 years, not like that's like 2 years. I can't do math. That's like 2 years from now. I don't know if that's a mistake. I don't know if she's going to go on probation. I don't understand how you can like have that many counts of child abuse and only go away for 2 years. I don't like it. Half of me is like, is that why they're not on this season? Because like TLC or Sharp Entertainment thought that it was like too dark to bring the couple back and where her daughter is like abusing children, which it is too dark. But at the same time, WeTV brought back Mama June, whose like ex-boyfriend molested her own kid, then came out of jail, and then she lived with him. You know what I'm saying? And that Mama June show's back, and she's already been arrested with her like new boyfriend for possession of crack or meth, one of them. I can't really, one of them. Not one of the good drugs. What a dark web we are weaving. Anyway, comes back like end of April, honey, and I'll be there, you'll be there. We're gonna get in. We'll see what the new drama is. There's gonna be things like they are saving for us. They know they gotta bring it. They have lots of couples to choose from, so they're filming with other couples. I'm assuming the ones that we got means that there's drama gonna be unfolding, and so we have to wait for it, okay? We'll see. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, yes, please, like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you will, comment. You know I'm gonna get in these comments and be all over it. You can follow me. I am at Chris L. Farah. The L is for Love Never Dies, which is the sequel to Phantom of the Opera that I watched once and it was horrible. Anyway, take care of yourselves and each other, stand up for what you believe, and make art, okay? Have a great one. Bye!